Alright everybody, welcome back to another turn of Operation Outer Space. This will be turn 14 for the Germans, January of 1943. One minor bit of housekeeping to address. The naval transport that started by the Marshall Islands doesn't have the range to strategic naval move to California, so it's stopping in Hawaii instead. Maybe the Americans will want to do a different strategic naval movement with that freed up, but for now we'll just leave things there. We'll start, as always, with the tech. We'll be rolling for improved construction, improved factories, and advanced mechanized infantry at a 7 or higher, and heavy armor at an 8. We've got a miss on armor, miss on everything but mechanized infantry. Yeah. That's okay, that's a good one to get. Over to the purchases, we have 54 to spend, and we're going to spend it all. We're going to be buying 2 infantry, 2 airborne, 1 marine, 3 militia, 1 minor port, 1 tactical bomber, 1 heavy strategic bomber, and then we'll be sending 5 units to North Africa. That's this unit costs 5 here. Completely clearing our bank. To start with, we will go ahead and designate which units are being sent to Africa. We've got an artillery in Normandy, 2 infantry in southern France, 1 infantry in northern Italy, a medium tank and a motor infantry from Switzerland, and an artillery from Slovakia. Alright, that's 7 units sent, and 5 is the maximum spent for sending the DAC, so that's done. Alright, let's move on to the combats. We have quite a few to declare, mostly all minor ones. We have 2 submarines in A-51 just conducting their convoy raiding there. We have the battle cruiser in P-72 doing the same. We have an advanced sub in A-18 moving down to A-27 and raiding there. And we have... Okay, starting from the north, we have a heavy strategic bomber in Western Germany picking up an airborne and flying 1, 2, 3, 4, and taking Iceland. We have the second fleet from A11, well, mostly, all minus a naval transport, moving over into A6. The 2 naval transports there will be picking up 4 infantry, 1 from the Netherlands, 2 from Western Germany, and 1 from Denmark. The other naval transport will be moving east into A12 and then picking up 2 infantry from West Poland, and then continuing to 3 to rejoin the second fleet in A6. We've got 6 infantry total there now. There we will be conducting a pair of amphibious assaults. 1 infantry and 1 battleship are attacking northern England, and then the rest are taking Scotland. The fighter from Western Germany is flying 1, 2, 3 to assist in the capture of North England, hopefully. He needs to land. Okay. More combats. We have a heavy strategic bomber from Western Germany flying 1, 2, 3 into southern England, being joined by a fighter from Paris, 1, 2, 3. And they'll be conducting strategic bombing of the minor port from southern England into A21 and A17. And then we have a strategic bomber, normal strategic bomber from Paris, flying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and attempting to conduct a strategic bombing of the major port on the south side of Lower Egypt. That will be unescorted. And I believe, lastly, we have an air transport from northern Italy flying 1, 2 into Sardinia, picking up the airborne infantry, 3, 4 into northern Algeria, and capturing that. With that, I believe we can start rolling out combats. Start with the sub-rating. The battle cruiser in P-72 is rolling with a net bonus of +1 now that ASW is complete. That's no damage to the Anzac line. We have 2 submarines in A-51, each rolling at a net bonus of +2, and each rolling their own ASW die. No damage from the first sub, and 1 damage on the second sub. So that's just 1 damage off the British Commonwealth convoy. And then lastly, we have an advanced submarine, an A-27, which will be rolling at a net bonus of +3. That's 3 damage to that convoy. One, two, three. Oh well, could have been worse. Didn't lose any units. Okay, next we'll do Scotland, just taken for free, as is Iceland. Let's roll for, first of all, the British fighter here in southern England has elected to not participate in any of their optional combats. They are not intercepting or scrambling to prevent amphibious assault or scrambling into northern England. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and roll the combat for North England. We have a battleship bombarding at 4. That's a miss. We have infantry attacking at 2 and a fighter at 4 versus a defending militia at 2. We got a hit, and he did not, so Northern England is taken as well. Okay. Next we have a strategic bombing of the minor port. We have an AA roll, inherent AA roll of 1 or at 1 or less, and 2 d6 of strategic bombing damage. That's the maximum of 3. And the bomber does get to fly home. We have free capture in northern Algeria. Oh. And the big, relatively big one, risky combat in Suez. First, we'll have an intercept roll where we've got an American fighter intercepting at 3 or less. I don't believe they have a radar. No. Okay. So it's 3 or less on the American fighter intercepting and 1 or less on the strategic bomber. Fantastic. Okay, the bomber gets through. Now we'll be rolling for the strategic bombing itself. We've got a inherent AA at 1 and 2 d6 of bombing damage. Everything misses, and the full 5 damage is applied. To the port. With that, the British light carrier in Lower Egypt will be choosing to eject out of that port into the Red Sea. Okay, I do believe we now have all of our combats finished. Yeah, alright. So let's go ahead and land all our aircraft. The strategic bomber from Lower Egypt is flying, first off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it'll be flying 7, 8, 9 into Tripolitania. The air transport from northern Algeria is returning to northern Italy. Yeah, sure, why not? The fighter and strategic bomber from the bombing southern England will return to Paris. The fighter will be returned. The heavy strategic bomber will just fly back to Paris. And the heavy strategic bomber that took Iceland is returning to Western Germany. The fighter from northern England flew 1, 2, 3. Will return to Western Germany as well. 4, 5, 6. I do believe that's all of the aircraft landing. So let's move on to the non-combat movement phase. Before I forget, we'll have 1 naval transport, 1 battleship, and 1 torpedo boat destroyer going in port in the north side of Scotland. One of the 2 battleships did not participate in the amphibious assault of northern England, and so has the opportunity to go in port here. I'll leave the torpedo boat destroyer out with the 2nd Fleet. So just 1 battleship and the naval transport. Nah. I'll keep it how I had it planned. Okay. In France, we have 1 infantry walking from Aquitaine into Paris, and then 1 from Paris to Picardy. We have 1 Marine railing from Western Germany to Picardy. We have 1 airborne railing from Western Germany to central Romania. We have a AAA railing to Slovakia and a medium armor railing to Slovakia, both from Switzerland. We have a cavalry. That's all 4 rails. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. We have a cavalry from Switzerland marching from Switzerland into Slovakia. We have a seaplane in Western Germany flying 1, 2, 3, 4 to Rome. We have the entire army from West Poland, that's 3 infantry and 3 artillery, marching backwards into Eastern Germany. And then we have the 2 infantry from Hungary and from Bulgaria moving into central Romania. And that should cover all our movements. Yeah. Okay. So with that, we can go ahead and place our buys and collect our income. We'll start with the recruit roll for nationalists well, rather the Spanish nationalists, rolling in a 1 or less. That's an 11 and a miss. Continuing with placement, we'll go ahead and collect income. We have a base income of 53, and then we collect 3 for Romania and 3 for Sweden, and that's it. So we're up to 59. Yep. We'll be placing a minor port in Mauritania on the border between A46 and A48. A militia in Ivory Coast, a heavy strategic bomber and a militia in central Romania. We've got a tactical bomber and a militia in Paris. We've got 2 infantry, a marine, and 2 airborne in western Germany. And that is everything. DAC will be placed in Tripolitania. We've got a supply path from northern Italy straight there. Alright. With that, everything should be in place to pass things along for the next common turn. So we'll leave things there and say best of luck on your next rolls.